So we will run through what we're going to need. I've got a 5x7 card base. I've got a piece of card that is oops, 2 centimeters. So it's 12 by 17. Okay, I've got my heat tool, and then I have my translucent medium, and I have a selection of embossing powders. Oops, sorry. I've got wow embossing powders. Just a selection I've got in the navy, azalea, silk brocade. Whether or not I'm going to use them all, I don't know. Lucky clover, Niagara blue, that's a sparkly one, and teal luster. I'm not sure if I can get that one anymore, so I've got a few of those. Then I have my iris stencil, which is SP1386. This is one of the new 2025 releases. Beautiful one this is. And for stamping my verse, I've got the VerseFine Claire Nocturne. So the usual tools, I've got my magnetic sheet, my palette knife and my spreader, all to hand. So let's fire away. Too tough. Two in the bottom. Let's get this in shot. There we go. Okay, down the side. And I think I'm going to paste it this way. So I've got a magnetic sheet, I've got my card, I've got my stencil spreader, and I am going to go in with translucent. So I never stir my mediums. I've got a bowl of water there if I need to pop it into water. I've got a bit of card so I can just pop it on. So let's go. So as I said, never stir my mediums. It makes it too sloppy, I find. So I just use it as it is, and then when I get down to the bottom, I'll give it a good stir then. A good old dollop of medium. I've got my spreader on up. That goes back into my pot to be reused. So once on, check it over, and it is running the spreader completely against the stencil. There is no pressure there whatsoever. So scraping off, I'm quite happy with that. That's going to go into water and that'll get washed up. And then medium, my lid back on. I'm done with that. Pop that to one side, and we're going to take this off. So off with my tapes. So I'm using stencil tape, the Sweet Poppy stencil tape. Off. Oops. Now I always put mine to one side and I let mine dry, and then I'll finish it off with a heat gun. So this is getting prepped. This will go to one side, and then I will finish it once it's dry. So we're going lift up, straight off, beautiful. So tape's all off. I like to keep quite clean, so a wet cloth. So I'm just, as you can see, the dimension there, lovely. So this is translucent, so this dries completely clear. So let's make sure we're back in shot, and we're going to go in with our embossing powders. So I'm picking up, ideally put a bit of paper underneath, just to save any of your embossing powders. I'm going to go quite random. I'm not worrying that this is green, this is blue. I want a pretty mix of embossing powders. So I'm then going to go in with this azalea. That's such a pretty colour, the azalea. I love the Wow embossing powders. I get such a gorgeous finish with them. And I use them so much. So this is Silk Brocade. It's a darker purple and it's such a beautiful one, but don't think that you know, look at all your colours, look at all your embossing powders and have a play with them. A little bit of blue, not much. So just so that I can darken in areas. You know, put in some of your golds, put in some of your silvers. So this is a mix. So this is got golds and greens in. I'm just going to give it a little bit of a shake so I get more of a random colour there. And up. This is a heavier one. This seems to be, the glitters in this a lot heavier. So lid on with that one. And then finally a little bit of blue teal. There we go. That's it for my embossing powders. I'm going to move those all around. You would have a little pot to one side, and then you could put all your colours into a mixed pot. So I'm just randomly, I want to get into all the little areas and move all that mix around. So we're good to go. So we have popped this to one side, we've left it dry. We're going to now heat it up with a heat gun. So I prefer leaving mine dry before I go to it with the heat gun. Now your finish will always be very different to what it looks like with embossing powders. You do not have a choice, you do have to heat it. So you don't really have a choice on that, otherwise it'll just keep coming off. So I'm warming front and back, just going in, warming and going in. And you'll see eventually, and it's very much like when you stamp and heat emboss with a stamp, you chase it along. So you can see, hopefully, I'm not sure you can see yet, but it will start to change. It goes very, almost like glossy. Try not to burn your fingers. If you feel it's getting hot, just move away from it for a little while. Move my heat gun out. Let's see if we can get, it is a beautiful technique. It's probably one of my faves. So I'm gonna have a little look at my stamps and see what I'm gonna pop in on your special day. That's reasonably level for me. Lovely. So make sure we're in shot. Sorry, I should have brought the lights in and forgot to bring the lamps in, but never mind, hopefully it'll be all right. So down, press, let it soak into your card. That's better. Okay, move these out of the way. Little smudge. This is what the brilliant erasers are for. Got my name for getting fingerprints. It's actually not bad for getting a little bit of embossing powder off. Sometimes if you get a speckle, you can sometimes remove that. So, lovely. Okay, so I have a little bit of mats just so that it's going to pull it all together. And there we go. Nice and simple, but with a beautiful effect. I hope you enjoyed the technique. Don't forget to tune in for other techniques and inspiration. Thank you.